This is Mr. Hanna. Welcome to What the Format. Today we're going to go over how to take an equation in slope-intercept form and put it into standard form. So a couple things to remind you, standard form is ax plus by equals c is standard form. Okay, now key points here. There are, first of all, x and y are on the same side. A term comes first. A should be positive, greater than 0. Now, I've seen some teachers in some places that let you leave a negative. If your teacher does that, or if you see that on a test, multiple choice, and that's the only possible way to do it, the a is negative. It's technically not incorrect, but convention, from what I've seen and that I'm used to, is that the a is always positive, and I actually find it easier to always make the a positive. If you always do that, you should never be wrong. But of course, if your teacher or the multiple choice doesn't have the a being positive as the answer choice, or they let you leave a as negative, then go ahead and do that. But for purposes of this, for what the format, we're going to have a be positive. Okay, so how do we get rid of the fractions? Well, there's my equation. So I write out y equals 3/4 x plus 5/8. Now, you have to be careful. This y-intercept isn't always a fraction. Okay, and if it's not a fraction, you want to make it a fraction by putting a 1 under it. Okay, what we need to do here is we need to multiply each term by the common denominator. They call that clearing the fraction. That's your first step. So 4 and 8, common denominator is 8. So we're going to multiply the whole equation by 8. Okay, now when we multiply it by 8, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to distribute. And yes, you can actually distribute across an equal sign. So we're going to multiply this by 8, we're going to multiply this by 8, and we're going to multiply this by 8. If it helps you see it, right next to it, just put the times 8. The times 8. The times 8. Okay? Now what's going to happen here is 8 times y is going to be 8y. Okay? Now here, the 4 goes into the 8 twice. So now that gives you 3 times 2, which is 6x. Okay? Here the 8's just cancel, and you get plus 5. Notice now we have no more fraction. Now this is going to be big when you get into system of equations, and you have a lot of fractions. It's easier to use integers than fractions. Most people don't like fractions, and I don't blame them. Okay, more complicated, more work, easier to make a mistake. So what we did here is by multiplying everything by the common denominator, we got rid of the fractions. Again, it's a term called clearing the fractions. Very, very handy. But notice the problem. Our x term is not on the correct side. So what are we going to do? We're going to do minus 6x. We're going to do minus 6x. So now you have negative 6x plus 8y. I can't write today. I'm sorry, my 8s aren't lining up. 8y equals 5. Now, remember I told you we want this to be positive. How do you make it positive? Well, we just divide everything by a -1, or multiply it by a -1, however you want us to do it. But it's easier to show that we're dividing everything by a -1. As long as you do the same multiplication or the same division to each term in an equation, each term, 1, 2, 3 terms. As long as you do the same thing, multiplying or dividing to these terms, the equation keeps its values. Okay? Don't do the same thing with addition and subtraction. Multiplication or division, okay. See here we multiplied everything by 8, we're okay. Here we're dividing everything by -1, we're okay. That's going to make this 6x. Then we're going to have minus 8y here equals -5. Now, one of the biggest problems here is students forget to finish the math. They get these two and then just put a 5 there. Okay, remember, very important when you're doing higher level math. Don't rush through any step. Go through each step one at a time. Make sure you see everything. If this changes sign, these two should also change sign. That's another way to think about it. Check it. And then here we go. That's our answer in standard form. Okay, so that's how you turn an equation in slope-intercept form to standard form. Okay, now real quick, just as an aside, let's suppose this 8 wasn't here, and we had 3/4 x plus 5. Then 4 would have been our common denominator, because this is 5/1. And then when you multiplied it, 4 times y would have given you 4y. The 4's would have canceled here for 3x, and then you would have had to take 4 times 5 to do plus 20. Okay, be very careful of that. When this isn't a fraction, a lot of students forget to multiply this. So they get the 4y equals 3x plus 5, and then now they've missed that number multiplication, so now they've changed the equation. Something to watch for, okay? Actually, let me write that out real quick since we got time. So if I had y equals 3/4 x plus 5, right? See, now the common denominator is 4. So now I'm multiplying everything by 4. So I got times 4, times 4, times 4. Now you notice there's your 4y. The 4's cancel there. There's your 3x. But 4 times 5 is 20. This is what I'm talking about. Make sure you do that math. Okay? Now the steps are the same as over here. You can subtract the 3x over. It's negative, so you can divide by the -1 and make it positive. But you've got to watch those two different cases. A lot of students miss that. Okay? And that's the crazy thing with this. You could do 99% of the problem right, miss one little thing, it all goes wrong. Okay? That's one of the purposes of this channel, to try to show you how to think through a problem, how to stay organized, not to skip steps, also how to see how different problems change from one another. Subtle differences require you to think just a little differently. And if you miss that one little change, it's all over. Okay? So this is how you take slope-intercept form to standard form. Now, I don't know any way to go from slope-intercept form or standard form to point-slope form. Now, with point-slope form, you can do your math and get it in slope-intercept form. I don't know another way to go from these two to that. So you won't have to worry about that. But these are when I was growing up, these were the two ways we did it. We had slope-intercept form, we had standard form. Point-slope form came after I graduated high school. Now, it's a great format of an equation. When we go over it, you'll see why. But right when you're first doing it, I would really focus on these two and get really good at these, because point-slope form will be useful down the line, and some teachers ask for it, but there's less thinking involved. You want to really get your thought process down here. And if you cut corners now, that's when you get in trouble. Anyway, this has been Mr. Hanna with What the Format. Thank you for watching. Happy math.